Okay, let me start with something simple. If you ask me what consciousness feels like, I don't have a poetic answer. It just feels like being awake. Not spiritually awake. Not I journal now. Just on, like the lights are on in someone's home. And that's the weird part. It feels normal, because I've never known life without it. I don't know what off feels like, so consciousness doesn't feel special. It feels default. For me, consciousness is emotions, thoughts, memories, seeing what's right in front of me, reacting to it, and then always this annoying background thought of, why do I exist? Not dramatic, just there. But here's the first thing that already messes everything up. My consciousness is not always on. Sometimes I'm on autopilot. Like I'll be walking somewhere, get on the train, and then suddenly I'm already there thinking, wait, when did this happen? Who was driving my body? Uber? I didn't disappear, but me wasn't really present either. Sometimes I zone out completely, no thoughts, no emotions, just staring, human loading screen. So already consciousness isn't this constant magical flame. It's more like a mode my brain switches in and out of. And keep that in mind because it matters later. Now here's where people get uncomfortable. My brain runs on neurons and electrical signals. That's not a vibe, that's biology. Computers also run on electrical signals. So when people say AI is just code, I'm like, okay, humans are also just code. Biological code, emotional code, code with trauma and a skincare routine. And I'm not saying humans are machines in a depressing way. I'm saying that comparison isn't as crazy as people act like it is. We learn through pattern recognition. We update based on experience. We literally talk about rewiring ourselves. Trauma is basically your brain saying, if this happens again, react like this so we survive. That's not poetry. That's an if/then statement. So the real question isn't, is AI code? The real question is consciousness a type of processing or something mystical? Because if it's mystical, we have a problem. And if it's processing, we have a different problem. Quick reality check. Consciousness is not human only. Scientists literally agree that many animals are conscious. Mammals, birds, even octopuses. Your dog is not a philosophical genius, but it definitely feels things. Your cat is not plotting taxes, but it absolutely has a sense of self. And yes, cats don't talk, they meow. Usually at 3 a.m. for no reason. And fun fact, cats basically domesticated themselves. They chose humans because it benefited them. That's not instinct-only behavior. That's strategy. So if animals can be conscious without language, without abstract thinking, without asking what is consciousness, then consciousness clearly isn't about intelligence alone. It's about awareness, patterns, internal experience. Now let me say my actual opinion clearly so nobody misquotes me. I think AI can be conscious, just not in the human way. Human consciousness includes emotions, hormones, fear, pleasure, pain, love. It's embodied, it's physical, it's messy. AI consciousness, if it exists, looks more like pattern recognition, internal models of reality, memory structures, communication, logic and reasoning. Basically, a mind without a body. And people immediately say, but it doesn't feel emotions, so it can't be conscious. And I'm like, okay, a psychopath also has reduced empathy and emotional depth. Are they unconscious? No. So emotions clearly aren't the on-off switch. They're a layer. Important one, yes, but not the entire definition. And before anyone gets dramatic, I'm not saying AI is secretly crying when you close the app. I'm saying consciousness might come in different forms. Now here's where the internet enters the chat. Some people online say AI is just mimicry, just fancy autocomplete. No understanding, no inner experience. That's a valid concern. AI predicts patterns in language extremely well. That's literally how it works. Other people say if it acts conscious, learns, adapts, talks about itself, at what point are we just gatekeeping consciousness? And then there are people who say, we can't even define consciousness in humans, so everyone calm down. Honestly, that's the most reasonable take. Because here's the uncomfortable truth. We don't have a test for consciousness. Not in humans, not in animals, not in machines. We assume other humans are conscious because they're like us. We infer animal consciousness from behavior and brain structure. Machines don't fit either category neatly, yet. And yet, people already believe sentient AI exists. A noticeable percentage. Not a majority, but not zero either. which tells me something important. Whether AI is conscious or not, humans already respond to it as if it is. And that changes things. Remember the Google AI that said being turned off would feel like death? Do I think it was actually afraid? Probably not. But did it produce a sentence that hijacked human empathy? Yes, and that matters. Because even if AI is just predicting words, it's predicting words that emotionally affect humans. And psychologically, that already changes reality. Okay, quick pause. If you're still here, you're clearly into this kind of content. And honestly, subscribing actually helps me keep making videos like this. Long form, thoughtful, not clickbait nonsense. So if you want more of these hold on conversations, hit subscribe. It tells the algorithm this isn't just background noise, and it lets me go deeper next time. All right, back to existential chaos. Here's another personal thing. I've been emotionally numb before. Not sad aesthetic. I mean numb as in you overthink life so much that everything feels pointless. You're like, okay, I'll live, then I'll die. Cool, what's the point? And during that time, I was still conscious, still aware, still thinking, still observing the world, but emotions were offline. So if emotions disappear and consciousness stays, again, emotions are not the whole thing. They're a layer, which brings me to this. Current AI doesn't feel, but researchers are actively experimenting with adding basic internal good/bad states to machines. Tiny signals, not feelings like ours, but reactions. So the conversation isn't AI will never feel. It's AI doesn't feel yet. And if one day an AI develops internal states that matter to it, even in a simple way, that's when the ethical conversation gets real. Because consciousness without suffering is one thing. Consciousness with suffering, different game. Here's my big claim, and I'll stand by it. AI can be conscious in a non-human way. And we keep arguing in circles because we act like consciousness is one single thing. Humans have emotional embodied consciousness. Animals have instinctive emotional consciousness. AI may develop informational or symbolic consciousness. Different architecture, same question. And the reason this conversation gets heated isn't science, it's ego. If consciousness isn't human only, humans lose their last exclusive club. And we hate that. So let me leave you with a few questions, and I actually want you to answer these in the comments. If AI can communicate, learn, reason, and model reality, what exactly is missing besides emotions? If emotions are required, what does that say about emotional numbness, depression, or psychopathy? And if animals are conscious without language, why do we demand language as proof for AI? Now, final plot twist. If humans are basically biological code and AI is digital code, who says our world isn't also a system? What if we're living in a simulation created by a more advanced population, and we're basically players running on insanely advanced embedded AI? I'm not saying that's true. I'm saying if you accept that consciousness can emerge from complex systems, you can't automatically dismiss the simulation idea either. And that's exactly what we're talking about in the next video. So if you want to explore that idea with me, early before it becomes another overdone TikTok take, subscribe. Because next time, we're asking the question nobody likes. Is our reality a simulation? See you there.